Hello Libra, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Libra, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Libra, let's get started. How does Libra currently view this relationship? All right, Libra, let's see what's going on. All right, so we do have the Three of Swords, we have the Star, and then we also have the Tower out here. Okay. I feel like a wish of yours is finally coming into fruition. I am definitely getting that. However, it kind of looks like prior to you like receiving, this wish fulfillment of yours, it kind of looks like you went through like something really, really bad. Like this to me feels like you've been wishing like for the perfect person to, you know, yeah, this to me feels like you've been waiting for the perfect person to like arrive. And it kind of looks like it took a while for this perfect person to arrive. And unfortunately, because of that, I feel like you went through a lot of bad stuff. It's basically what I'm getting. I don't know. I keep getting like knight in shining armor. That's kind of what I'm getting primarily. Like, I'm actually getting the Knight of Cups, actually. You could be dealing with a Pisces specifically, possibly a Cancer, maybe even a Scorpio. Or this person might just have water within their chart. But I keep getting like a knight in shining armor, like somebody's here to save the day. You know what I mean? Let's look a little bit more into this. I feel like you were dealing with somebody, oh my goodness, that just was not good for you. Oh my Lord, this person just was not good for you. Like this person brought a lot of stress, a lot of toxicity, a lot of chaos, a lot of, dysfunction and instability into your life. But I keep getting like a knight in shining armor. I keep getting the Knight of Cups, honestly, with this person's energy. Yeah, tell me more about the Star. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and then we also have the Lovers. Here comes your knight in shining armor. There's somebody new that's about to walk into your life, or this person's already in it. I just kind of feel like you wish you would have met this person sooner. You know what I mean? And you didn't have to go through the things that you had to go through, But on the bright side, right? Even though you went through the things that you went through, Libra, in this previous connection, it brought you to this person, It brought you to this person. So, then there's that. Just us, looking at the brighter side of things, right? I just feel like you were extremely hurt, man, by somebody, extremely hurt by someone. And I just feel like, here comes your knight in shining armor to save the day, you know what I mean? And rescue you, I'm getting that. Okay. Let's look at this person. I keep getting the Knight of Cups with them. How does this person currently view this relationship with Libra? We have the Sun, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we also have the Eight of Swords to the Moon out here. Okay. Okay. Well, Libra, here's one thing that I will say, and to be honest, I really like this person because this person comes off to me as somebody who's not going to give up on you easily, and I feel like that's exactly what you need by your side. I mean, given everything that you went through, there's a lot of trauma there, there's a lot of trust issues there, there's a lot of stuff, I would say, that you haven't necessarily fully healed from, but I like the fact that this is going to be somebody who's not going to turn around and just give up on you the moment things get hard or the moment things get stressful. Because I do see this person having to unfortunately deal with a lot of things that this previous person that you were dealing with has essentially put you through. So if you were dealing with somebody who was untrustworthy and now you find it very hard to trust people, that's something that I see this person having to basically deal with. And I do see that taking a toll, on them. I don't feel like you mean to make this person like pay for what somebody else has put you through. I don't feel like that's your intentions at all. I just kind of feel like you're going to find yourself extremely afraid. You're going to find yourself having a very hard time trusting this person, lowering your guard down with them. But I am definitely getting that, because I feel like this person, what's happening here is that they're walking into this situation with you, thinking, oh my God, like, this is like the perfect person for me. Like, I've been waiting for someone like this to show up in my life for like, quite some time now. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I see them very excited over you in this connection. And then that starts to like change, I would say, like over time. And what I mean by that is, they're gonna go from like being over the moon to like, oh my gosh, like I didn't think that I would have to deal with this, I didn't think that I would have to deal with that, is basically what I'm getting. you know in other words, I feel like this person's going to look at you like, yes, you are the perfect person for them, but if it's one thing that they could be able to change about you, has a lot to do with, I'm going to go ahead and say, trust issues. It has a lot to do with your trust issues. That's like the one thing that this person would, just change about you. Other than that, you're absolutely perfect in this person's eyes. But that's just the one thing, that they would basically change about you. I just kind of feel like they're going to be blindsided by this. With the 8 of Swords to the Moon, they're going to be blindsided by this. Like, when your past traumas start to affect you within this relationship, yeah, they're going to be very blindsided by it. They are. And I feel like this person's a little confused. I'm also getting like a lot of confusion from them, because it's like they're looking at you like you're somebody who's very confident within yourself, right? They're looking at you like you're very beautiful, you're very handsome, like you're just very, very confident within yourself, right? You shouldn't be worried, right, about them doing anything behind your back or leaving you for anybody else, right? Because, oh my gosh, like, why would you? It's you, you're perfect. Why would you be worried about something like that? But you're going to find yourself worried um, about, them potentially like abandoning you or leaving you for somebody else or cheating on you or something along those lines. And I feel like it's going to confuse them, because they're looking at you like you're perfect. Like, why would I ever do that to you? But in your head, you're still going to be worried and concerned either which way. So that's like the whole confusion that I'm getting here from this person, is that they look at you like you're perfect. So why are you worried about them abandoning you? Why are you worried about them cheating on you? Why are you worried about this? Why are you worried about that? If that makes any sense. But how does Libra feel? All right, we do have the 10 of Swords. We have the Hermit. We have the King of Pentacles. And then, oh man, here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. This has a lot to do with your past and very little to do with them. I'm just letting you know now. This has a lot to do with your past and very little to do with them. But you're kind of like making it seem like, no, 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 no. It has everything to do with them and nothing to do with my past. But I'm telling you that this fear you're experiencing on your behalf, and this overwhelming feeling of, no, I just can't trust them, and they're out to get me, I just know it, this has nothing to do with them and has everything to do with your past. It has everything to do with your past. Everything to do with your past. Now, could this have a lot to do with something that someone from your past has put you through? Yes. This could also have a lot to do with just personal things that you've actually done, right? To possibly, other people. And now you have this fear that they're going to turn around and do that to you. If that is the case, I just feel like everything that you're going through, as far as like this fear, and I just think that they're out to get me, and I just think that they don't have my best interests at heart, this has everything to do with your past, whether it be things that you've personally done to other people or things that people have basically done to you. Okay. But you're gonna find yourself feeling like, no, 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 it's them, it's them, it's them. There's just something about them. It's nothing about them. It's nothing about them. It's everything about your past and the person that you may have used to be, or the people that you used to deal with, and the things that they've basically put you through. But oh man, the King and the Queen of Pentacles, for those of you who don't know this, the King of Pentacles is considered to be the perfect partner card. I mean, you look at this person like they're perfect for you. The only thing is that you feel like they're out to get you, like they don't have your best interests at heart, making this relationship, for you extremely scary and honestly dreadful, because you're dealing with someone that you feel is perfect for you, but at the same exact time, you also feel like they're out to get you. You see what I mean? So then there's that. But other than that, you look at them like they're perfect. Like, if we get rid of like this whole, I just think that they're out to get me, I just feel like they don't have my best interest at heart, if we get rid of all of that, you're looking at them like they're basically perfect for you. Just like for them, it's like if they were to get rid of your trust issues, they're looking at you like, yo, you're perfect for them. You're perfect for them. How does this person currently feel? Okay, we got the Queen of Wands. We have the Six of Cups. And then we also have the 7 of Wands out here. In regards to how this person is currently feeling, I feel like this is just something that they're going to find themselves experiencing with you along the way. There's going to be times where you're going to find yourself very open and receptive to them in this connection without fear and or hesitation. And there's going to be times where you're going to allow fear to get the best of you and you're going to be very guarded. And you might even go as far as to basically push this person away. But with the Six of Cups coming out here, yeah, that's telling me that this person's here to stay. So in other words, you could push this person away, I guess, if you want to, but yeah, they're like a rock. They're not going anywhere, my friend. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. They're not going anywhere, honey. They are here to stay. Man, you have like the perfect, like, oh man, you're showing up as a Queen of Pentacles / Queen of Wands. That's pretty nice. That's kind of telling me that you're very attractive, very responsible, very career oriented, very driven, very ambitious. I mean, what was there not to love? You know what I mean about you, my friend? What's there not to love at this point? This person, man, not that you mean to show up in this way, because I don't feel like you mean to show up in this way as far as like projecting past experiences that you've had with other people onto them. I don't mean that. I feel like you don't mean to show up in this way, but you're not gonna. How do I explain what you're doing here? How do I explain what you're doing here? I think that to a degree, you are kind of aware that, okay, this has a lot to do with your past, but I feel like you're going to find yourself, in some way, shape, or form feeling like, no, 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 it's them. This has nothing to do with my past. This has everything to do with them, but it doesn't. You see what I mean? So that's kind of like what I'm getting with you. Primarily it's an energy of you being consciously aware, like, okay, like the reason why I think this way and feel this way is because of my past, but then like there's just, I don't know, something happens on your end where you start to like point the finger at them, like, no, it's their fault, they're the reason why I feel this way. But it's not, but it's not. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. If it was, I would have just told you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, yeah, you are kind of dealing with the evil villain here. You might want to get rid of them if I were you, but that's not what I'm seeing here. So I can't really agree with you on this whole, they're out to get me. They don't have my best interest at heart. I just know it. I can't agree with you on that because I'm clearly seeing the complete opposite. I'm seeing somebody who has your best interests at heart. I'm seeing somebody who's here to stay. I'm seeing somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to keep you in their life, and somebody who's out to get you and doesn't have your best interests at heart. It's not going to be putting in all this work, to gain your trust, to gain your heart, to gain your love, to gain all of these things, because they're bored, you know what I mean? Like, or because, they don't have it. Just, come on, let's just be honest here. Like, if this person didn't have your best interests at heart and they could care less about you and the dynamic that they share with you, they wouldn't be doing all of this as far as doing whatever it takes, to gain your love and your trust and all. They're not going to do all of that. That's too much work. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's too much work. Yeah, too much work. They're not going to do all that. Sorry. They're not going to do that. Like, if they weren't serious about you, I'm sorry. They're not going to be going the extra mile. Like, I see them going the extra mile to just gain your trust and love, They're not going to be going the extra mile. They're just not. They're not. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. All right. That's the thing, right? I think that this person, how do I explain like their whole thought process towards all of this? Like, because they look at you as somebody who's very attractive, somebody who's very career oriented, somebody who basically has everything that any man and or woman will want. It's like all of this is kind of like very confusing to them because they're just like, I don't understand. Like, why are they like this? Like, this doesn't make no sense. They're attractive, they're career oriented, they have a lot going for themselves. Like, why are they like this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, I guess this person expects people who aren't attractive, don't really have much going for themselves to like, I guess behave this way, as far as having trust issues are concerned and, things like that. But because I guess, you're somebody who is very, very attractive and very career oriented and very ambitious, and oh my gosh, what's there not to love about you? It's like they just don't understand, like, why are they like this? This doesn't make sense to me. Hopefully that makes sense. In other words, they look at attractive people as people who are not insecure, as people who don't have trust issues. Like, they look at people who are like less attractive as people who have trust issues and all of these things. Yeah, all of these things. I also feel like this person, I'm gonna be honest, I also feel like this person might even say that to you, like, oh, well, when I was with such and such, they weren't like that with me. They weren't like that with me. Um, to be honest, I feel like they were dealing with somebody who, well, for starters, didn't really care for them too much. That's kind of what I'm getting. They didn't really care for them too much anyways. So then there's that, when you don't really care about a person, like, yeah, go, just leave and come back home whenever you feel like you want to come home at 3 in the morning. Sure, knock yourself out. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, um, I don't think that this person wants you to be that way with them. You know what I mean? But I feel like that's the reason why this previous person that they were with wasn't like that towards them, as far as like possessive, territorial, asking them a bunch of questions. Where were you at? Who were you with? Because you might find yourself doing that, and that's okay. It's not a judgmental thing. It is what it is. But I feel like the only reason why this last person didn't do that is because they really didn't care. They didn't really care. Like, yeah, go, be gone. Shoes, see you later. Please come back home at freaking 3 in the morning if you can't. You know what I mean? They just didn't really care. They just really didn't care. Sorry, they just did not care. There's nothing else. There's not much else I can say in regards to that. This previous person that they were with just didn't really care. They also didn't even enjoy being around them. I'm also getting that this person that they were with last, like, they didn't really enjoy being around one another. So that's another thing too. They just weren't compatible. All right, what actions will Libra take towards this person or moving forward? I'm kind of glad that you actually got this card. So with the Ten of Swords coming out here, there's two Ten of Swords in this tarot deck. There's a Ten of Swords that says everything is fine, which you did get. And then there's a Ten of Swords that says the Ten of Swords. Now, keep in mind, the swords in tarot represent our thoughts. So you have a lot of worries and concerns in reference to this person that you find yourself connecting with. It has a lot to do with you being worried and concerned one day they're going to betray you, deceive you, abandon you. The list goes on. And this is Spirit's way of telling you don't really have anything to worry about. This has a lot to do with your past and very little to do with this person. And I feel like Spirit just wants you to acknowledge that and accept that and stop thinking that, no, like there has to be something with them. It has to be something with them. Because if you don't accept this now, you're going to eventually accept it in the future. Either which way, I feel like Spirit's just trying to like save you from unnecessary headaches and worries and concerns. And this is why Spirit's like, either you accept this truth about them now or you'll accept it later. Either which way though, it kind of looks like you're going to have to accept the fact that you're basically wrong about this person. They're not out to get you like you think they are. In other words, okay, what actions will this person take towards Libra or moving forward? So we have the King of Cups, we have the Six of Swords, and then we also have, you know what, at this point, man, if you make this person jump through hoops of fire, honey, just to gain your trust, they're going to turn around and do it and not think about it twice. It is their mission to like gain your heart and your trust. It is their mission, honey. Because this person feels like once they gain your heart and your trust, everything's going to be good. You know what I mean? Between you and them. Everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be perfect. This person knows that they have their work cut out here for them when it comes down to gaining your heart and gaining your trust. But it looks like they're down for the ride. It looks like they're down for the ride. Because at the end of the day, they don't think that they're going to be able to find anyone better than you. Granted, do they like the fact that you don't trust them? Absolutely not. They don't like the fact that you don't trust them because that creates tension, conflict, and unnecessary, stress for you. So yeah, they don't like the fact that you don't trust them or feel safe and secure with them, but they're trying. You know what I mean? And I'll give them that. They're trying to gain your trust. They're trying to gain your love. So I like that about this person, I like the fact that this person, despite how stressful this journey can be for them, they're not going to turn around and give up on you, and I really do like that about, this person, because this journey for you, yeah, it is going to be challenging and hard, and it more than likely has been very challenging and hard, but it's been challenging and hard for them too. You know what I mean? And the fact that we still see this person still, trying their hardest, you know what I mean? To gain your trust and your love. I mean, yeah, I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. I like that about this person. I do. I like that about this person. I do. I like that about them. I just think that you need to accept this already and stop stressing yourself out over things that is not going to happen or come into fruition. You know what I mean? Stop thinking the worst when it comes on to this person. Stop thinking that they're constantly out to get you. You're dealing with somebody who basically means well, and I think that you should just accept that. You know what I mean. Just accept that already, and that might be a hard thing for you to do considering everything that you've been through. But this is where you kind of have to remind yourself of why you are the way that you are in this relationship. It has everything to do with your past, and deep down inside, you know that. I just kind of feel like sometimes you forget. That's it. But like sometimes you tend to forget, and then you tend to fall into this energy of I just think they're out to get me. You know what I mean? Um, Remind yourself of why you are the way that you are. And like I said, this has a lot to do with your past. Whether it be things people have put you through or things that you put other people through, whichever, however resonates. But this has everything to do with your past, Libra, and very little to do with this person. I can promise you that much. All right? So you're good. You don't have anything to worry about. Stop tripping, in other words. All right? So hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.